Greetings and welcome, you're here with Shamika Nicely and this is my channel, Seshats'sexpressions. I figured, seeing as my hair is a little bit turn up and the energy is there, I'm feeling the flow, why not do a video? Today's video is going to be a bit of an introduction to me, myself and I. Me being the author, myself being the creator, and I being Seshats'sexpressions. So without further ado, back in a sec. So to start is me, the author, and I've been writing since like the age of 10, which is when I woke up. I became more aware of the fact that I am in this body and I have control over it, and that kind of opened like a whole new door with my imagination, where I started to develop worlds in my mind. I went through this kind of like transitionary period where what I was creating in my mind, in my thoughts, I wanted to transfer onto paper, and that was kind of like the biggest struggle because it was all images that I had to like transfer into words. Obviously I got the hang of it, and then I was able to publish my first novel, The Masterpiece, and even then that novel is still like at its basic level, but it was something to build off of in the future, which I'm still doing presently. Also, what I believe is very interesting is the fact that I was looking at my astrological birth chart. It was stating that I was going to be a creative and I have like a way with words or just storytelling. Yeah, I have a way with storytelling, and it's very true, but it's just learning the difference between imagery and then words. So in a way now I'm feeling like I might just transition from doing books to wanting to maybe even do like screenwriting, because I see everything so vividly in my mind, in my dreams, and it's better to have that diversity with creating stories that shouldn't only be just reduced to one kind of format. Another thing, I am very so much an introvert, and I used to be so introverted that I would maybe come across as not so confident or very shy, and I wasn't even shy like that. It's just it takes me a while to open up to people, and it still does, but I'm becoming more myself and I'm developing. But I like to contain my energy, like keep my energy in my space, because the moment that I kind of like expel my energy, it drains me. Like I literally have a social battery and it's not nice. But as far as me going as the author, I pretty much woke up to my purpose in this life very early, and knowing that being an author was like the way forward to manifesting what was already in my mind, even as taking into account what I'm experiencing all around me, because I tend to observe a lot more, and by observing I understand character a little bit better. But there is a way where I'm lacking myself because I'm so introverted and somewhat closed off from other people. I'm not so in touch with my own personality and character, which I'm finding I'm bringing out a lot more. But through creating these characters, they're actually an extension of me, and I'm able to see myself more objectively through them. Funny enough though, I have had my readers ask me if I have written parts of myself into my story, into my characters, and truthfully speaking, I believe every kind of author naturally does. But for me now, seeing as writing is my way of expressing myself at my highest level, naturally I did, but it's only like certain elements. Other elements I'd have to like dramatize and give body for that character to exist in the story that I've created it for. In many ways, my characters are going to be me, going to be alter egos, and even just what I've observed in my natural environment. Moving on to myself as the creator, I have created and manifested 3 novels, and they all fall under my self-publishing business, Nicely Publishing. Now, Nicely Publishing, the mission statement is challenging the mindset and providing thought-provoking content with a literal twist from an Afrocentric background. And what that essentially means is to focus more on African storytelling African culture, language, their way of life, and to bring that forward into like the past, the present and the future, with main focus also being on Afrofuturism, which is African culture plus social issues, and then that kind of brings forth the past and the present into the future, and it literally all gets wrapped up into one. But I felt it important to establish a business like that rather than to just go to like one of the traditional publishers, because I really wanted to control my output, the message that I'm putting out, the symbology, and to also be a form of inspiration and a real model, not a role model. I wanted to live what I'm preaching, or essentially trying to get people on board with. Just tell them what I know. To also be free with your expression, be bold, to step outside of the box, because that's what essentially writing is. It's just to express yourself, to disregard literally everything and just be. Now, being in 2021, there is this greater need for people to identify with others and to have this like representation. So Nicely Publishing is moving forward with that. Also with my target audience being Africans and Africans of the diaspora, because they seem to be lacking in the literature world. And being that I am Afro-Caribbean, I figured why not stay true to myself and write characters that are like me, that can inspire children, teenagers, and even just allow adults to see themselves when previously they probably couldn't have. There's this whole thing where mainstream media tends to like whitewash everything, and there's this quote, I don't remember exactly how it goes, but I'll paraphrase, and essentially it's, give me a child and I'll tell them who they are. And that's just wrong on so many levels. Like, it's brainwashing and even just mental manipulation. So I kind of want to like backtrack a little bit, show the different sides, get the young people more in touch with who they are, because there's a lot of people out here, they don't actually know who they are, but they like to put up this front as if they do and that they're calm with all of that. But that's not really the case. And my novel, The Masterpiece, the front cover alone, it had a black woman on it. And I have seen various other authors, I can't remember their names exactly. There was Tommy Adeyemi, her novel, yeah, that one there. I'm pretty sure many people are familiar with it. And then there are a lot of other authors that are adding black characters on their book cover, because it's necessary to see yourself as these other characters, just like how many other people see themselves as Superman or Spider-Man or any other like Marvel character. Really and truly, I mainly just aim to help people to tap into themselves through these other characters who are on their journeys, mainly self-development journeys, and just to come to terms with their potential, and that, well, most of my work is going to be subliminal anyways, so I want them to awaken to that. I want to like teach them through my work rather than to just tell them. I think it's much better that way. The Nicely part in Nicely Publishing is very much an acronym as well. I'm pretty sure you've heard of Tupac's phrase, never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. So I took that step further with my acronym being never ignorant, constantly evolving. Now, as you can see by the logo, I'm very proud to say that I've incorporated Kemetic symbols. So you got the Ma'at's wings, you got the Ankh and the Eye of Horus. The Eye of Horus being the Wajet symbol for protection, the Ankh being the symbol for the cycle of life, because it incorporates the feminine and masculine aspects and join them together in unity. And then Ma'at's wings, that's just being Ma'at with her principles of like harmony, balance, justice, reciprocity and virtue, all that good stuff. This leads me on to the final part of my trinity, me, myself and I, being Seshats'sexpressions. Now that's the name of this channel, but it also falls under Nicely Publishing, being that Seshat is an Egyptian scribe who documented, I believe, well, I'll take it a step further. She documented the past, the present, and the future. And as you saw earlier, she has this quote being, "Mistress of the books, she who is a scribe, the divine measurer and scribe." So, by me naming her as part of this channel, I wish to invoke her energy, being that I'm a creative and author, someone who's supposed to have an affinity with words, although I'm still developing myself in that area. But being that she's an Egyptian goddess of words, I'm trying to be more expressive with that kind of energy and manifest a lot more than just keeping it all up here. I've always struggled to express myself, so starting YouTube is actually going to be a great challenge that I've set for myself to do more, be more, and just manifest. Just manifest, just express. As you can also see from my Seshats'sexpressions logo, I love symbology, especially African symbology. So I've got two symbols. The first one is Seshat's own symbol. The second one is an Adinkwa symbol from Ghana, which is Anansi Untonton. And I believe that one means wisdom, the complexities of life. And that's kind of like in a webbish kind of spiral. If you know like Jamaican and Ghanaian folklore, they like to use Anansi as like the storyteller. So as you can see, all in all, I'm just invoking this whole spirit of African storytelling and just manifesting. So that concludes my whole trinity of me, myself and I. Hopefully I've sparked your interest and you are willing to follow me on this journey. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe to the notification bell, like this video, and I'll see you guys somewhere in the future. Peace.